The younger girl said, "My grandfather, he's upstairs." The whole front of the house was already in flames coming out of the porch in front of the house, so I ran to the back of the house and start yelling, "Is anybody here? Is anybody in here?" And with that, you two were right behind me. I honestly didn't even recognize that you were there until we were all in the kitchen.
As we pulled up, the flames were shooting out the underneath the porch towards the car, out the window basically, burning really good. Like I said, we saw Gail going through the yard, coming up to the two people that lived in the house, the owners, the tenants, and they mentioned that dogs were missing, and then they mentioned that there was someone upstairs.
And all the ladies are saying is Poppy, 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 and you know that's like grandfather. So we go running for the house.
All three of us looked at each other, and we said we have to go in. We headed to the back side of the house because the fire was coming out the front underneath the porch. So we went around the back, we opened the door, and it was still visible in there. You could see. I walked into the living room looking around because I had no idea where I was going. And I got closer to the fire. I was probably like 15 feet away from the flames in the living room. And then someone yelled, the person's upstairs. So we went up the steps. The first door I came to, I opened, and there was a man sitting in a recliner.
I remember the door being open and seeing that elderly man sitting there, and it was so heartbreaking because I knew right away he did not know. He did not realize what was happening in that house.
I mean, I was trying to talk to him and say, "Hey, look, sir, we have to, can we leave? Your house is on fire. We have to get you out of here." And then Casey came up behind me and said, "Just pick him up." And we proceeded to carry him out the door. And by the time we got to the door, the smoke got so bad I couldn't even see Casey no more. Gail was guiding us down the steps with her voice and trying to lead us out of the house because we couldn't see nothing.
And you could see the fire was already like dripping from the ceiling in that, which my first thought was, oh my God, that's what it really looks like.
It was a yellowish, orangish smoke. I mean, that's all you could see. You're trying to hold your breath because you don't want to breathe it in and going down the steps. I mean, how long can you hold your breath for? But then, you're gasping, which is even worse, and pulling in all that smoke.
The smoke was just swirling so bad and coming up. I'm sorry, this still bothers me. That I knew that we had to get out of there fast.
Finally got outside. We put him down in a chair, and then we had to catch our breaths because we just had so much smoke insulation inside. So we swiftly picked it up. All three of us picked up the chair and carried the man across the yard all the way up to the other side of the road. How much time passed in that? I said I couldn't have been more than 2 minutes tops, I would think. But we really don't know because all we're focused on was saving this man's life.
Mm-hmm. This elderly man he apparently had Alzheimer's or dementia. He was absolutely clueless and had no idea, but his life was still worth it.
Yep.
I have lost my mother-in-law to Alzheimer's and my grandmother both. So when we seen him, I knew right off that that's was his problem. That's why he was just sitting there the way he was sitting.
Since the fire definitely has changed me in ways. It's like kind of enjoy what you've got. Because you can change it in an instant.
I would hope to God that anybody that's in that situation would stop and help them, because I would want someone there that would help my father. And like I said, it's still very emotional for me. I have a hard time with it, and I just think we should all just treat each other the way we would want them to treat us. And that's how I try to live. Just treating people like I would want them to treat me. including running into a fire.